Welcome to the Artist Pivot Podcast. I am your host, Ayana Major-Bey, and today's episode features none other than the talented Sani, a Nigerian-born recording artist, producer, and entrepreneur with a range of talents spanning from fashion to painting and, of course, music. Sani shares his heartfelt gratitude for life's journey and the artistic paths he's walked down. His story is one of resilience and continuous self-improvement. We unpack the layers of Sani's creative process and touch on the very real emotional and financial roadblocks artists like Sani face, like the initial skepticism from friends and the sting of unresponsive potential collaborators. And let's not forget the leap of faith from a successful fashion venture into the pulsing world of music, driven in part by a big move from Nigeria to the city of Amsterdam. It's all about celebrating these shifting tides and understanding the power of persistence, collaboration, and the willingness to embrace change. Additionally, I am excited to say that the podcast Patreon is live. With your membership, you will receive access to the videos of this podcast and periodic bonus episodes. You can join at patreon.com/The Artist Pivot Podcast. I've also put that link in the show notes. I hope to see you over there. Now, without further ado, let's get into this episode. Come take a listen and let your inner artist play. Creating your dreams step by step every day. If you're feeling lost and don't know what to do, always remember that you can pivot to the Artist Pivot. The Artist Pivot. Hello, and welcome to the Artist Pivot Podcast. I am your host, Ayana Major-Bey, a multi-hyphenated artist, and I am glad you are here. A couple housekeeping things before we get into the conversation. First, to keep up to date on all the things happening with the podcast, subscribe to the monthly newsletter at ayanabey.com/podcast. Second, to show your support for the show, you can get podcast merchandise at ayanabey.com/merch. And third, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and share this with at least one person. Enjoy the episode. We Audition is the video chat community where actors can audition, self-tape, rehearse, and get expert industry advice. Get instant self-tape readers through video chat, browse through the dedicated actor meditations, podcasts, and books, meet casting directors in the virtual green rooms, and also make money by becoming a reader for other actors. If you join We Audition and use code PIVOT, you will receive a 25% discount on your membership. Link in the show notes. All right, y'all. So on the podcast today, I'm excited to say that joining me is Sani, and he happens to be a Nigerian-born recording artist, record producer, and just all-around entrepreneur. Sani, welcome to the show.
Yo, Ayana, thank you for having me. It feels really good. I like being here.
Of course. Go. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you and have this conversation. But my first actually two questions to you will be, one, how is your hydration levels? Like, have you had enough water today? It's my first question. Second question, if I were to text you and be like, Sani, how you feeling? How you doing? Like, what's your day been like? But you can only respond in emojis only. What would you text me back?
Okay. Wait, the hydration question with emojis?
No, two separate questions. They're two separate questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my hydration level, listen, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably not up where it should be. And I'm like, damn, because I was at work today.
Yeah.
And there's this, my colleague, she started this thing, she has a bottle just like yours. Like, she wants to drink more water. So she has this bottle that has like a time limit on when you should drink. Yep. You get me?
Yes.
And I'm like, all right, do your thing. And then like a week later, she came to work, and I'm like, yo, like she looked brighter, and I'm like, is this just me? And I'm like, yo, does this really work like that? And I'm telling her, but she thinks I'm just playing like stuff. And I'm serious. Like, you just look brighter. Is it the water thing? So I've been thinking about it since, but I just never ever just put my mind to it. I try to drink water sometimes, mainly when I'm eating, but Yeah, probably not up to par.
Yeah.
Thank you for that reminder. I think I should do that.
You're welcome.
Um,
Yes. And it is the water.
yeah,
I will testify to that with your colleague. Like,
for
it is
real.
the water. When you actually start to drink the amount of water that you should, skin starts changing, hair starts changing, your mood starts changing.
Yeah,
Water is
you
a
feel
magical
lighter.
thing. Yep.
Damn, I should do that, man. But yeah. As for the second question, what's my day like in an emoji? I don't know, man. Right about now, I'm just like grateful to be just here and just be able to do things. I don't know what emoji I could use. I don't know these emojis by names. Not really a texter. But yeah, it's just, it's ups and downs, man. In this world, it's ups and downs. Sometimes it's really up, sometimes it's really low. But with everything in between, just from my progress. A friend of mine told me this one day when it was just like a rough time and I was going through things and I was just trying to talk to him. And it was like, yo, bro, just hold on a minute. And it was like, look at your life from when you started, when you were born till now.
Yeah.
Have you been going down or have you been going up?
Ooh.
And it hit me and I was like, yo, I've been going up. And that's just that was like all I needed to know. Like, listen, man, no matter what it is, just be happy that you are here and you can do things because you can always change your situation. So that's kind of how I'm feeling today and almost every other day, to be honest.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. Yes. Thank you, friends, for instilling that in Sani. Thank you. You're right. You're absolutely right. I feel like, I don't know what that would be in emojis. Like maybe like the stars.
Yeah, me too.
Like maybe stars and a smiley face. And like, I don't know. I love I use the one, it's a girl like in a red dress dancing.
Oh, the dancing girl.
So the dancer, something, like joy. You got joy. You're
yeah. Just listen, and I feel like it fits you because hearing you talk, you seem like it too. You seem very bright and very jovial. And it's cool. I like that. I want to tap into that energy too.
Yes. Thank you. So y'all, Sani filled out this Google form. Y'all know I asked my guest, just have a little bit of information before. Let me tell y'all about the pivots this young man has made. So I want to know how you went from fashion into music, but then you also dabbled in like photography and painting in the middle of that. And then also from Nigeria to the Netherlands. So like, start where you want to start, but let's get into it.
Yeah. And to be honest, I feel like a lot of artists will be able to relate to this type of arrangement, being able to do this and this and this. I didn't start out trying to be a musician. You get me? Like, this was something that came to me like late. I graduated already from school before I even decided, you know what, I want to try doing music. So, but I was always an artist. You get me? From when I was young, when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I used to draw a lot on my notebooks in school. My parents used to be mad because I would notebook, I'm supposed to do things. I have drawings in there of like comical things. And it was just there. It just came easy to me. At some point, I was really young and people were offering to buy these things from me. And I'm like, in my head, I wasn't thinking about all of that. I just love doing it. Growing up, I realized like everything I'm about to explain, I realized it's probably always been there since you were a child. And doing that was basically where the drawing and painting came. The more I grew into drawing, there was a time like my goal in life was to be like a drawer, what do you call that? An artist, a drawing and painting artist. There was a time where that was what I wanted to do. All my parents knew. I used to tell them. They saw it because I was really good at it. I still do it from time to time. I moved into painting. At some time, I used to learn how to craft paper mache, and I used to do all these things. It just came easy to me. But then came, because I was in Nigeria at the time, we called this secondary school, and then you go to the university, or if you want to do whatever you want to do. So I had to go into university, and I had to study something. You get me? And to be honest, my mind wasn't in there.
Fair.
You get me? But especially in Nigeria, this is something that you should do because this country is hard enough. Just get your degree at the very least. Because trust me, this country is hard.
Yeah.
You get me? It's beautiful too. I don't want to make it look like it's some crazy shit. But anyway, I decided to study business. Me, my mom, we had this whole talk and we decided to study business.
Okay.
And then I went into school. And it's not, I wouldn't say I was crazy about it, but now I realized there was a lot of things that I did learn from that. And then I started drawing less and less and less and less unto the point where I just didn't, sometimes I even forget that that's a thing I can do. Maybe if I see an art show or something like that, then it comes out and like, yo, are you serious? And I'm like, but you know, that's just what it was. And that's how that side of me just kept going and going. So when I was in university, I'm in like third year and then my fourth year and then I finished. I was thinking, because my dad is already having to talk with me like, listen, you have to, you know, what is it you would like to do in life? Do you have plans? You know, you just have to talk to your child at some point because come on. And I had no plans. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was just there like moving through life and stuff. But, you know, and I wasn't worried because I knew I was capable of things. I just knew like I just needed to find something that works.
Yeah.
That's how I started to think of what I wanted to do. I was heavily into fashion at the time. I used to dress a lot. My school, in my third year, I was voted like best dressed in my first year. And I used to take it personal, you get me? But you know, so I just thought, you know what, this is a no-brainer. I want to go into fashion. I want to start making my own designs. I'm making my own clothes. And I started to make my own designs, go on YouTube. Everything is accessible. I started to do that. Making designs. I started off, I didn't know how to go about, okay, how do you go about making the business now, making it a business and getting clothes and selling? I didn't know anything about that. So I hit up a friend of mine. There's a friend of mine doing the exact same thing, selling clothes. Basically got a briefing from him. How did you start? What to do? I just knew the basics. It's just all about knowing the basics and then you can sort of work it out the way it fits you as you go. And I got that. Yo, it was a lot. I used to go to the market to get the material for the clothes myself. Like at some point when I first started, eventually I found more ways to do it, more easier ways. But you know, I loved it. I loved doing all of that. I dedicated a lot of months to it without even starting yet, but I was just happy about doing it. I told my dad that this is what I wanted to do. I drew a whole business plan, printed it with everything, like let him know like, yo, this is how I want to go. This is what I want to do. And he looked at me dead in the face and like, and I love my dad. I know this is what it is. And he looked at me dead in the face, said he doesn't see a future in it, basically.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, and he was like basically telling me not to pursue it and stuff like that. But the thing about me is, just don't tell me that because it's like there's this that's just don't like
don't tell me
it's like
that.
beef now. You get me? So I was like, you know what, it is what it is, and I didn't, you know, because I also needed some money for him, and I told him how much I would need. But he didn't give me the money, and I'm like, that's cool. I kept on doing my thing. I found my money myself. And I started doing it, and he saw that I was doing it. And I guess he felt like, because he's just like that too, very stubborn. And I guess he felt like, you know, you have to give him some respect at least. And then he called me, he spoke to me, and then he offered to give me the money that I asked for. Yo, there's a big part of me that wanted to be like, nah, it's all good. I don't like, just to let him know that I can do that and I can go there and just to let him know. But I needed that money, like I really did.
Right.
So I took it and, you know, we kept on moving. I kept on, now the business was moving. I was making some things. I started making sales at some point. When I made my first sale, like, yo, it was mind blowing to know, like, it's real. Like, you can actually get money from doing this. Like, that's when I knew I made a couple of sales, but ultimately, because it's just me doing it, it wasn't such a big business. So it was just there. And then I had to move to the Netherlands.
Okay.
Around this time was when the music came.
Okay.
I was making clothes. I was talking to this friend of mine, He's a marketer for a brand called Oraimo. It's really big in Nigeria. And he wanted to invest in my clothing business. He was like, listen, man, I see what you're doing. I want to invest in it. And in my head, I'm like, I've been in this a lot to know that it's a really hard business to push because people are just not waking up looking for new clothes to buy, especially from a brand that's like unknown. I figured like we needed something that could sell the clothes. Like we needed something that could sell the clothes. And that was what I was telling him, like, that's what we should be investing in, not the clothes. But he wasn't really feeling me at the time. And as luck would have it, this was around the time when I'd start like dabbling into music. This is a whole other story. I don't know if you want to hear it. I don't know if we have time. But
listen, we have all the time.
But yeah, when you finish university in Nigeria, there's this program that you do. It's called NYSC.
Okay.
National Youth Service Corps. So it's like serving the country. Basically, you get posted from your school to an organization. Could be a government organization or and you have to like work for a year.
Okay.
The government will pay you some money aside what they pay you from whatever you're being paid at the company. I see the idea of it like serving the country, but for the most part, it does not serve the purpose that it was made for. I'm just gonna put that out there. You get me? It just doesn't, and it's like, but that's when my whole life changed. Basically, like in there. Oh yeah, the way it works, it's 1 year, but for the first month, the first 3 weeks of the first month, you have to do this orientation. So they put everyone in like camps in different states in Nigeria.
Okay.
It's like a military orientation, but like the beginning parts, not like the real military. It's just like, and everybody has to do it. You can opt not to do it. There are ways to go around it, but people do it for experience.
Yeah.
Like, and then I met this guy in there. His name is Giovanni. He's also an artist. This was the guy that made. I'm gonna just let you know how it goes. Anyway, his name is Giovanni. He's an artist, and I met him. He's a really cool guy, really chilled. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah.
But he does music, and we never talked about music. We didn't say it wasn't, oh, I'm an artist. He was just chill doing his thing the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's it. Camp was over. Everybody went back home. But now we had exchanged contacts and stuff.
Right.
And then I saw he posted something like, yo, my new EP or something like that. I'm like, well, and then I go check the EP. And it's like really good music. And I'm like, I called him and I'm like, bro, like you do music. And he's like, yeah, man, he's been doing it for quite a while. I'm like, yo, you're mad talented. Like, just giving him his props. And I started to listen because he had like other songs too. Just started to listen and it was just mind blowing how all this while he just didn't even mention it. Like, I'm like, damn, he just made me like the music even more. And then one day he posted a video of he was doing a cover of this song, Chris Brown and Drake. You got it, you got it. What's the name of the song again?
Chris Brown and Drake.
Chris Brown and Drake. No Guidance, yeah.
Okay.
And he did like a cover to the song and he was singing and singing. I was like, all right, cool, double tap. I didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
And then like the next day, he posted another one with a girl singing a cover to like the same song.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, is this like a challenge or something like that?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I want to do mine.
Okay.
And I texted it. Prior to this time, I hadn't done music, nothing, whatever. I mean, I listened to a lot of music. That's as much as it. But I was like, I want to do mine. I don't know where that came from. And then I texted him. I was like, bro, I want to do a freestyle. And he's like, yeah, sure, go for it. I'm sure he didn't think much of it too. So I did mine. It's somewhere in my Twitter right now. If you scroll down to like 20 something. And I'm not going to lie. When I did it, I recorded myself on the phone and I watched it. I just knew, man. Like, I just knew, like, yo, it's in there, bro. Like, I just knew, like, oh, like, I just knew that I'd unlocked something in myself.
Yeah.
And I sent, you get me? And I sent him the video and he too was like, wow, like, how? Like, you didn't even see that coming too. I sent it to a couple of my friends, like my close friends. And for the most part, they were like, in denial, like, is it really him doing this? But they could tell, like, there was a flow in there, it was good.
Yeah.
So I posted the video on Instagram as, part of the challenge.
Yeah.
And in my comments, everybody that knows me, everyone's just like laughing emojis. I'm like, yo, what's so funny? I'm rapping. Everyone's laughing. I'm like, I'm actually being serious.
Yeah.
It annoyed me so much that they thought I was joking because they don't know me as an artist. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a song. And that was really how I decided, you know what? I'm going to go into this. I'm going to go make a song.
Yeah.
But the business side, this, and I feel like this comes from studying business for 4 years consistently. Even if you don't like it, you know things. I realized like I'm just looking for how to sing. How can I monetize it? I need to make sure it's coming right back to me. And I spent a whole couple of months just doing research on streaming, on publishing, on all of that.
Yeah.
That's where the entrepreneur side comes in, because I didn't even know it was there until I realized, like, yo, these things I'm doing, these were things they said in school.
Yeah.
And now I realize, like, that's why it's there. And that's how I've been, I guess, pivoting from things to things. And right now, I'm at the artist phase. I don't know, I might wake up tomorrow and feel like, you know what, right now I want to be an actor or something.
Right.
And I'll be ready for it. But yeah, right about now, that's how it all happened up till now. Okay. And I've been, since I made my first song, this is a whole other story about how that came to. But since then, just been making more songs, getting better.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm here now.
I see. Okay. So it's you. I mean, in the end, it's you trusting in yourself. Like,
sure.
That's what I've gathered so far, is like, I'm gonna trust in myself, and yes, I'm gonna share it. Like, you shared it with your dad, you shared it with your friends, and even with their, reaction of like, are you sure? Or, them laughing when you posted, you're like, no, I'm gonna do this.
I know what I'm saying.
You're either gonna be right. I know what I'm saying. So you're either gonna join me or you're not gonna join me. And like, trusting in yourself, like you said, you unlock something, and you were like, oh, there's something there, and to have I would even say the courage to be like, well, that's what I'm going to do next. Yeah. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And so I guess my question to you would be, did also moving from Nigeria to Amsterdam influence, how you pivot as well? Because also moving different countries is a whole different situation. Like, I did live in the UK for 1.5 years, but then I came back to the US. And so it is like, when you're in a different country, you're like, oh, I gotta figure it out.
Yeah. It did, most definitely, man. And what is crazy is, it happened right, like, I started doing music right before I moved to Netherlands.
Okay.
So it was like, I think I had like one song at the time, just recorded, not even out.
Yeah.
And it was trash, yo. Like, when the producer sent it back to me, I couldn't listen to it to the end. I was like, it's so trash. Like, how do you even send this back to me? But that was my first try. I did it a couple of more times and got better.
Yeah.
When I knew that I was moving to the Netherlands. Oh, by the way, I moved here because I was going to get a master's degree.
Okay.
And I do have that right now. I'm just gonna put that out there. I feel really proud of that.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's how I was going. When I got the confirmation, I still wanted to do music. So I was already, when I got my accommodation and I knew where I was looking for studios around that place. I was already making sure, like, Leo, as soon as I get there, it's boom. Because like, nothing was gonna stop me. Like, yo, when my mind is on something, yo. if you ever see me and you see that I stopped doing that thing, just ask me why, because it has to be something deep. But anyway, yeah. But when I got here, it was. I don't want to say it was rough, but it was different, man. It was extremely different. You just come in. I'm alone here. I don't have no family, nothing. It's just me. And you have to start getting used to people. You have to start learning how things work. You have to start... And I didn't have a job, so I had just limited amount of money. My dad gave me some money. Yo, that went out in like no time.
It was gone.
It was gone in like no time. And I'm like, he wouldn't even understand me now by telling me, oh, that thing didn't even last. But I mean, I found my way. I just kept, moving. Eventually, I got a job, like a side job, and when I started making some money, things started to get easier. And but in terms of the music, I believe. Then again, I don't know what it would have been like if I was in Nigeria. I want to believe it would have been a lot harder.
Yeah.
But being in Netherlands, yeah, it did have like positive impact on this music because the access, I don't know how to explain it, like the access, a lot of people, and especially the people, there's a lot of people willing to work. Yeah, you get me? When I first started out, especially and it pains me so much to say this because this is my people, but like a lot of them, it took a lot to find a producer. Like, yo, listen, there was a time I was looking for any producer to work with. Yo, like no one just wanted to take me serious. No, even when you want to pay, no one. It's just like it was so stressful. Right now, I'm at the point where I wake up one morning and I just see an email like, "Hey, my name is da 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 da. I saw your music on Spotify. You're a really dope artist.
Yeah.
Do you want to collaborate? Here's 5 beats."
Yeah.
And I just woke up and saw that. I'm like, wow, it's a bunch of people in my email that I probably haven't forgotten that it's there. But I'm saying this to tell you that there was a time when I was looking for anyone, like, and for the most part, because that was when I first started, I was in Nigeria. I couldn't get that. The access was not that easy, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie. But when I moved here, literally the first producer I met was ready to work.
Yeah. It seems like people were ready to collaborate. Like it didn't seem like they wanted to collaborate in Nigeria, but then when you got to the Netherlands, it was like they were like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, you get me? And it didn't even that's why I said, to be honest, I don't know how it would have been if I was still in Nigeria. Because the thing is, as much as people were willing to collaborate, I was looking for it, you get me? Like I was actively on it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, I like being in Amsterdam. It's nice. It's not home, but it's nice. And yeah, for the most part, I would say I don't know, man. Aside from like just the difficulties of living in a different country,
yeah.
I feel like it really helped like the music side of me, and the access is way better.
Right. And there are people, like you said, willing to collaborate with you, and like producers and different like artists to be like, yeah, let's work together, let's create something. And I think that is key. I think that's key in any art form, in any art form. But like, how do you go about? I guess my question is because I'm not a recording artist. I'm more in the theater, and like, so we kind of collaborate, voiceovers, like podcasting, but we kind of automatically collaborate. Say that again.
You have an amazing voice, by the way.
Thank you. So like, what's that like? Like the music process in collaborating with someone, and like, do you now? I mean, you probably in the beginning you did because you were kind of doing it on your own. But like, do you like write the lyrics and then the beats, or you're like, I'm gonna do the track, you're gonna do the lyrics, we're all gonna do it together. We're all just gonna pick lines and see what works together. Like, how do you go about the process of making your music?
Yeah, there's different ways actually. It's so many different ways you can make music, especially right now because everything is so easy.
Yeah,
I'm in Amsterdam doing this podcast with you.
Yeah,
that's how easy it is to make music just as well. But personally, what I would like, when I first started, before I learned how to produce, before I learned how to record myself, I would go to a producer who's probably has a studio with everything set up, the mic. He makes the beats. I'm not so good at making the beats. He makes the beats, and we make it together in the studio. Where I'm hearing the drums. I'm telling him, oh wait, let's switch this. Okay, let's put this here. Wait, let me see this. And then we keep doing it until it's sounding nice.
Yeah.
The writing, and this is something I'm absolutely very proud of. Every single song I did, I wrote it. I haven't gotten into. One time, a friend of mine offered to write me some things. He said like he feels like he's a writer. That's what he does. He writes so many poems. And for a minute, it dawned on me like, oh, people can actually write for you too. It's not something I've done for now, but like, yeah, it was, as far as writing every single thing, I wrote it down. I wrote it down on my phone or somewhere because yeah, sometimes it takes a while to write a song too. You can be in the mood and write something in 20 minutes, but some things can take you like a month. You're just coming back, changing things, just depending on like the energy is just it's just in the air. Sometimes it hits you real hard. Sometimes you're just passive. And I've learned not to force it, just let it be. If it's not, just let it be. Don't even stress it.
Yeah.
Like I could go a month, 2 months, I haven't recorded, don't stress it. But then a week will come and every day I was just recording every day. Take it as it comes and just keep it going. That's when you make the best stuff.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the process. I mean, but yeah, that's what it's like, man. Right about now, I like to record myself. I could find an instrumental online, also with a producer that I know who could send it to me. Or I could make my own beats. Like I'm not so good at it, but I try.
Yeah.
And I like to record what I want because you know, I'm more comfortable recording when I'm alone and I'm doing it myself, so I can fix if you need to sing this part 50 times, I can sing it 50 times. There's no pressure like, oh, you have to leave the studio by this time. So I do that, and when I feel like I record something good, sometimes I might just think of someone I know and feel like, yo, this person might be good on this second verse. Maybe I need a rap verse.
Yeah.
And I send it to someone, whoever I feels like. That's really how I would like to work. Send it to them, they record theirs wherever they are, send it back. No one knows where you recorded it. It sounds just the same. Other times, I'm in the studio and we're just making it from scratch with a producer like that, or with another artist or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, but yeah, that's what I know so far.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, because I know, everybody's process is a little bit different. But I love what you said about like, don't force it. Like, and I think that's with everything, whether it's a painting, a photograph, a song, like, don't force it. Don't force it.
Sure.
Let your creativity flow. Like, let your creativity flow. So my next question to you then would be, what would be like your, I guess, nugget of wisdom or like advice for other artists looking to like pivot or like, thinking about pivoting, or like, how you do that dance of like, oh, I'm going to do it, but then you don't, or I'm going to, and then you don't. And it seems like to me from your story that you're very much, if I've decided to do it, I'm going to do it. So actually, something just came to mind. So before your nugget of wisdom, or you can include them both, what I want to ask you, have you had any roadblocks in your pivoting and in deciding, okay, I'm fashion, but now I'm going to go to painting or photography or music? Were there any roadblocks that you did have that you had to work through?
Yeah. I want to talk about the music one because it's like, I guess, fresher in my memory.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, everything has its. There are times when you get so demoralized. I'm not gonna lie. There's so many times. Listen, man, but there's so many times where you just feel like you're just fighting against the world and like no one knows. And for the music, first of all, is I guess financially, because when you want to do something like music, listen, man, like I can't even list what you're up against. Like it's like you against the world. It's just you, that one person against the world. It's almost enough. Like I feel like it's enough for someone to just not even bother, like to even like, what you want to do? You want to start singing right now, and then what? You're just gonna like, it's enough. So that alone is something you have to take out of your mind, starting it. And then when you do that, it's the people around you. They don't see what you're saying. I have people, I have family, I have friends that have said some things regarding these things to me that I feel like they feel like they're just doing it out of love. They love you and whatnot.
Right.
But yo, it hurts so much. Like when someone you care about just doesn't get it. In my head, I'm like, you don't even have to get it, but you clearly see he has a plan.
Yeah.
At least don't say anything. That's the least you could do. Just let him be and wish him the best. Or pray for him or something. But those things really hurt, and those I feel like for the most part, that's the strongest, I guess, like roadblock personally for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That you had to overcome.
Yeah. But everything else is almost financial, like related. And yeah, just finding the right people to work with, man, it's very complicated because sometimes I've reached out to a lot of people, especially and I hate to say this about you, but when I reached out to you on Instagram and you didn't respond, I already told like my assistant, she was already like, I told her to send you an email, but she's like, yo, just DM her. And I'm like, I don't want to be DMing people because they don't respond. And she's like, no, just do it. And then I did it, and then you didn't respond. I'm like, but it wasn't even personal because it's a bunch of people that haven't responded. You get me? Things like that limits sometimes how far you want to move. It's people that you could be talking to that you're already talking, and then it just goes cold. And it's like, we could be doing so much more than all of this. You get me? Yeah. And I feel like things like this, the way my mind is set up, it's hard to find roadblocks because anytime there is a roadblock, I'm almost ready to get over it. Like, I'm almost like, you get me? Like,
yeah. You expect it to come, so you're already preparing to.
And this is something I've learned just from experience, from like getting to know it. And this might even answer the next question, which is the wait, what's the question again?
Like I know
it in my head.
Yeah, your advice or like word of wisdom to other artists looking to pivot.
Yeah. Other artists, there will be roadblocks. Like, it's inevitable. Like, yo, like sometimes you just have to experience it to understand, like, you know what, this person didn't respond. It's all good. Don't even waste your time worrying about that. Just go to the next one. Sometimes you might invest some money on this. It might not work the way you think. Sometimes people think you're just going to make your song and instantly become like Beyonce. It doesn't work like that. Trust me, you might be here for years. It doesn't matter. Everything you're adding is just like one more brick. That would be my biggest advice to them. Like, yo, and I've seen people who, yo, there's this guy I know, I don't want to call his name. I don't even know if we know if he's the one I'm talking about. This guy's the most talented person I don't want to say most talented person. But like, it's different, man. And his voice is so good. And I keep on encouraging him, like, bro, like, why you, like, just stop all this talk, all this doubts. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yo, I need to make it. Bro, forget about all of that. Just make a song. You can make a song and just leave it there first. At least let's just that be there as a reference for what you can do. You don't even know who is listening.
Yeah.
But he's just thinking of the many things of why it will not work. And I'm like, yo, listen, you're going to face so many of these things, man.
Yeah.
Just do what you want. Even if it doesn't work, it's all good. Leave it and go on.
Yeah.
That's be my biggest advice to anyone listening, man.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you want, whatever field you're trying to do, just listen, just try. If it doesn't work, try again and just listen. Everything will not work. You get me? You just need that one to work. And then it's like, I was reading some stats. I don't know if you know anything about basketball, but what's his name? Jordan. He missed, I don't know the right amount, but he missed like more than double the amount of shots he actually made. But no one is talking about the misses, are they? No one is saying, yo, he missed this. It doesn't matter. He had to miss all of that because if he didn't miss them, he wouldn't get to the ones he got.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
Right. Oh, yes. Well, I mean, what I'm like taking away from this conversation right now is like, number one, I think, and I've been learning this over the last couple of years, to not take things personally. And whether it's with your family, somebody you reach out to, whatever it is, because they're not seeing what you're seeing. And like to realize that they're not seeing what you're seeing, but also they may never see what you're going to see. And also, they don't have to see what you're going to see. And that's okay. Like, it's okay. But you know, we're communal beings. Like, we want our loved ones to, like, see what we see. But if they don't, that's okay. And so learning not to take those type of things personally. But then to also, like you said, I really liked what you said about when you do something, you keep adding. You're building. Yeah. It's brick by brick. You know, like your artistry is not built in a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's
Exactly.
it's not built in a day. And
You
even
have to
like,
like listen, man. It's a constant. Yo, like I have an assistant right now. Like you
yeah.
think when I started this style, I was thinking
Yes.
about an assistant.
Nope.
But as I grew, I saw the need at some when I got to a certain level, I saw the need like it's time to start building a team. It's time to have someone else on board. The progress we've made in like 1 week is crazy. Like I'm so happy. I'm like, yo, this is so like yo, the minute I did when I had the conversation with the person that I was going to like hire, when I had it and we're done, I realized like, bro, you've entered a new phase in your life now. You are a leader now. Like you are now
Yeah.
giving instructions. And it's when you have that kind of mindset, yo, you keep getting better. That's just all I'm saying, man. You
Yeah.
just keep getting better. You keep listen, man, even whoever it is that's at the top of whatever you want to do is still figuring out new things today. That's just what it is. So keep growing, man. Just add that one little thing every day, and one day it's gonna be done.
Right. 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 You're gonna turn around and go, oh, it's done. I did it. But
I
then
know,
also,
right?
what's next? I'm gonna keep growing. But you're like holding those two things of like, I did it. And okay, now I'm
Yeah,
gonna keep growing. But even
for
like you
sure.
said, like a lot of artists that we, if you do want to look at other artists' careers, especially bigger
Yeah.
artists, like let's take Beyonce for instance. Do you know how
My
many
sister's a
assistants she
huge fan.
has? Do you know how many
Yo,
people she has working
bro.
for? Like she doesn't do this herself. So I think there's also
So
that piece of like realizing at some point you're gonna need help
you're
and
gonna
like
need help.
finding those
Collaborate,
people,
yeah.
collaboration and like going like, oh, but also delegating, passing it off.
Yeah,
Here, you do
that's a
that.
cheat code. That's a cheat code.
Right. Right. That is the cheat code. I'm gonna pass it off to somebody else so that you can also just focus on your artistry. You focus on the
Yeah, for
creative
sure.
part.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
It's man, it's beautiful, man. I'm not gonna lie. Anyone that if I feel like the for anyone that wants to do anything, the hardest part is probably like starting or just, just it takes a lot to pivot. It takes a lot to understand like I want to go into something new that I haven't done before and like
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Yeah.
But yo, trust me, at some points you're gonna look back and be happy, like, damn, I actually did all of. Yo, let me tell you the story. One time, there's this girl I knew, and I met her at the party. Once it was a party somewhere in an apartment we used to live.
Okay.
And then I didn't know her. She was with some other friends. She came. I didn't know her. I came for some other friends.
Yeah.
But she was there, and this was the day I recorded my first song. No, I recorded the first song that was released.
Okay.
That's what because I recorded a bunch of other songs since. But it wasn't out then, but we recorded it, me and the producer. So we decided to play it at the party, like, yo, what you guys think? And this is like a very high tempo song. So, the whole room was like, wow, you did that. This girl was right there. I didn't know her still.
Okay.
Eventually, I got to meet her and we got to talk and whatnot. Months later, she came to tell me like she's also an artist.
Yeah.
She came to tell me that at the time she didn't have any songs or any of that too. She said when she saw me that day, when I played that song, and she saw me like, yo, you did that song. That was the day she knew what she wanted to do. I was like, and she was telling me this thing straight to my face.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. I'm like, whoa. I was just going about my life, doing my thing. And then it made me realize how powerful this thing is, man. Do you understand how someone's... And I'm not like I'm taking credit for... I'm sure she would have gotten where she's gotten to. But I'm now an instrument that was used. Just the same way Giovanni was an instrument that showed me like you could do this.
Yes.
Bro, it's in the air.
Yeah.
It's like in the air.
Yes. Yes.
These things, when you feel them, it's insane, man. You feel a sense of purpose in life. And anyone trying to go into fields like this, as much as it's going to be tough and blah, 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 trust me, when you feel this type of things, you would understand. Like, it would probably give you more confidence to realize, like, nah, I am doing something great here.
Yeah.
Even if the whole world thinks it's shit, this person likes it.
Right.
That's it. That's one person that this world is better now as a result of my actions. I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yo, man, just go for it.
Yeah.
I feel like I can keep going.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Just go for it. But that was a beautiful story that she was so affected to be like, oh, that's what I want to do because she saw you. And like you said, she may have eventually gotten there, but you were meant to be in.
Yeah.
I always believe in paths crossing. So you were meant to cross her path at that moment so that she could then make a pivot or she could make a choice because you made the choice. No, I'm going to record this song. And yeah, we're going to play it. Like, yes.
Yeah,
but you made
Sani.
it a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? Like you crossed her, you were supposed to cross her path at that moment. And you were going about your business, like you said.
You get me, yeah.
But your paths were meant to cross so you can like, I always like to say it's like a nudge, like a cute nudge to be like, you can do it.
Yeah.
And you keep going down your path.
This is your sign.
Exactly.
This is your sign. Take
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my goodness. Sani, thank you so much for sharing. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, I do want to open up. Is there anything else that you would like to share before we wrap this up?
Yeah. No, not much. I don't know, man. I just hope anyone that listens takes something from it. Just, let's learn to collaborate, man. Let's learn to like be problem solving, man. I feel like this world is full of nonsense, and it's like, yo, we're just wasting so much time on so much things. There's so much great things to be done. So please, man, reach out to your fellow people. Reach out to your colleagues, collaborate, help build each other. That's the only way we can all win if everybody's winning at the same time.
Yeah.
But, that's just it. And I don't know, stream my music or whatever.
Yes.
I know my assistant's going to be like, yeah, you have to say that.
Yes.
But I don't know, John. My name is Sani on all platforms. Please, I don't know, check me out and show some love. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I was just about to ask you where everybody can find you. So yes, y'all, please stream his music. So it's Sani, Sani, on all platforms?
Yeah, on all streaming platforms, Sani.
Okay.
On social media, it's Sani Nogei. That's I need to explain that. That means Nogei in my language is the king. So that means Sani the king.
Okay.
So Sani,
nice.
Yeah. Sani Nogei, SANI
Okay.
On everything. On Instagram, TikTok, all the rest.
Yeah.
So please show me some love. And let's keep going. And if you like me, reach out. We can do whatever.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
And also thank you, Ayana, for having me.
Of course. I was just going to say, I'm going to put all of that in the show notes, everybody, so that you can easily click on and find Sani. And yes, so the last thing I have to say to you is that I acknowledge you, I celebrate you, and I uplift you.
Amen.
Yes.
Right back at you. Everything you said.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yay. Thank you so much for joining me.
Appreciate it, Diana. Thank you.
Yeah.
And also reach out if you need me. Feel like you have anything that can be of help, reach out. I'm just like one text away, literally.
Of course. Thank you. This podcast is produced by Ayana Major Bay. Editor is Kieran Niement. Theme song lyrics written by Ayana Major Bay and Melissa Victor, with performance by Ayana Major Bay. Please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.
Part of the Boundless Audio Podcast Network.